A few months ago, we changed hosting companies for the first time in 13 years. And I wrote about that change here and pointed out how boring a topic web hosting is. But it's important, so much so, that we're getting ready to launch a whole new kind of web hosting at Better Website Hosting. And you can get in on Better Website Hosting's beta program by clicking that link. We'll go from there. Now, in fact, we are so serious about Better Website Hosting that if you open the story I mentioned at the top of this article and scroll to the bottom, we will give you free hosting. Seriously, free. And that hosting will happen in the cloud. At least it will to you. Bringing us to the point of this story, what is cloud hosting? And we almost can't tell you. In fact, the reason we switched hosts this year was that our longtime provider couldn't tell us. And we knew the answer, but literally the company we'd bought hosting from for 13 years could not differentiate between their own cloud hosting product and other products they sold. Which sounds impossible, doesn't it? A hosting provider unable to tell you what cloud hosting is makes no sense, even when you think about how odd an idea cloud hosting is. So, when our new host published this article a few weeks back, I was intrigued. Had they explained anything any better than our old host? Well, turns out not. Although the article does make a great marketing point. If you need extra power, you will get it automatically with their cloud hosting. Yes, you'll pay, but at the end of the conversation on the topic, the real benefit of cloud hosting is that you never max out, no matter what, assuming, of course, that your hosting plan is actually cloud hosted and actually set up well. Now, that last statement probably makes this a more confusing subject than ever, so let me say right now that SiteGround sets up hosting the right way, and that if you click through to them from our links and buy services, we could get a commission. But let me also say that the more you dig, cloud hosting and the way it's priced just keeps getting more confusing. For example, if you buy cloud hosting from Amazon or from Google, it can be incredibly inexpensive, but probably won't be. And at many companies that let you choose between cloud or dedicated or shared hosting plans, cloud hosting is pretty cheap, but not at SiteGround. So what is cloud hosting? Is cloud hosting a premium product or more of a discount loss leader? Well, price and performance notwithstanding, the best way to address what is cloud hosting is with a simple split. Dedicated hosting is when your website is served up from a machine that does nothing but host your site. Shared hosting is when your site is kept on a computer that also hosts other sites. And cloud hosting is when your site is kept not on a single computer at all, but hosted across several or even several dozen or several hundred computers. And the issue is not limited to websites. Services like Dropbox and Google Drive store your things somewhere you can't identify. I wrote about OwnCloud a few years back, and I told you it's not really a cloud service at all. So what is cloud hosting? Well, when your application, a website's an application, is hosted in multiple places, you're cloud hosted. That's why OwnCloud is not a cloud application despite its name. And it's why describing what being in the cloud means can get so dicey. Everything is in the cloud once it leaves your computer, but cloud hosting is more than just being remote. Well, that's what cloud hosting is. But is cloud hosting a good thing? Well, it saves you money, maybe. So if it does, cloud hosting is great. And if it makes your application faster, well, cloud hosting is great then too. But if it complicates anything you need to track, including cost or speed, cloud hosting's value decreases. So with SiteGround charging a significant premium, even though it saves them money to host you that way, cloud hosting becomes a head scratcher. Good idea? Bad idea? Yeah. But mostly good. Paying more for something better isn't bad once you understand the value equation. Better website hosting is better, it's faster, it lessens your administrative and security headaches, and it's in the cloud, even if it isn't necessarily cloud hosting. And that's the point. Someone has to manage issues like the type of hosting you buy. but it probably shouldn't be you. Make sense? I'm the answer guy, and I'll be back.